Since the beginning of this administration, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to end birthright citizenship. Following his order, a number of states filed injunctions against this order. But as we previously reported, the Supreme Court recently ruled federal judges lack the authority to grant nationwide injunctions. What does this ruling mean? Fox 14's Princess Bryant has that answer. That story is a part of our Democracy 2025 coverage tonight.
Following the Supreme Court ruling, President Trump announced to his X account that it was a giant win. President Trump went on to say in the post, birthright citizenship had to do with the babies of slaves and not what he refers to as, quote, scamming the immigration process, end quote.
It was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious. But this lets us go there and finally win that case, because hundreds of thousands of people are pouring into our country under birthright citizenship, and it wasn't meant for that reason.
The Supreme Court decision does rule that federal judges lack the authority to grant nationwide injunctions, but the legality of the order was not ruled on.
Does not have an effect on people presently trying to become citizens or people claiming to be citizens. What it's going to do is eventually, when the time comes, if it goes into effect as it's planning to go, new children born in the U.S. to non-citizen, non-resident parents will most likely not have citizenship rights.
Enforcement of the policy cannot take into place until 30 days after the ruling. There's also the possibility that birthright citizenship changes could remain blocked nationwide.
Thanks for this decision, and thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis.
When it comes to changes that could come to the citizenship process following this order, Curzon and Flores says that we may not see the impact now, but it could be seen in years to come.
What we see is usually how this affects people going forward with this law is their children in the future will not be able to be the ones petitioning for them because their children are also not citizens. That is probably the most likely scenario where this will negatively affect our clients.
Anna Murillo, Princess Bryant, Fox 14 News.
Justice Sonia Sotomayor, in her dissent, called the decision nothing less than an open invitation for the government to bypass the Constitution. Congressman Ronnie Jackson released a statement on his Facebook following the Supreme Court ruling. In part, it said, "Today's Supreme Court decision is a win for President Trump, the Constitution, and the American people. Radical activist judges have no authority to sabotage the will of over 77 million Americans."